Hello, how are you? Happy day after Christmas. How is everybody? Hope all is well. I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas. My name is Nicole. I'm with Nicole's Recycle Treasures. If you see the red live button, you are catching us live. If you do no longer see the red live button, hit hashtag replay. Let me know you were here. Hi, Kim. And I will say hello back. Pull you up. All right. Hi, Becky. How are you? How was your Christmas? I don't seem to want to come up here on my iPad. How's everybody doing? Hi, Michelle. Hello, hello. How was everybody's Christmas? Did you guys have a good Christmas Eve? Awesome. I'm so glad. So glad. It was good here. I had the kids here Christmas Eve. It was a long weekend. I worked, came home. They came over, had dinner, and then yesterday everybody hung out here and we did gifts, did a couple rounds. I know, another COVID Christmas. That's awful. I'm sorry. Is everybody feeling better? Make sure my volume's up, guys. It was not. Can you hear me? COVID is no fun. Tell me the kids didn't get it. I hope not. Yep, just tired. I know. When I had it, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't get enough sleep. We just had dinner at my parents'. That's awesome. Okay, good. Good. I don't know. I'm not pulling up on this. I don't know why. I think I have too many things open, maybe. It doesn't seem to want to pull up. So yes, it was back to work today. I had yesterday off. Just you and Jimmy. No, that's no fun. So did you do your Christmas today, Becky? We had ours for 2 days. Hi, Patty. How are you, Patty? Are you so excited? I know you were bumming there for a moment. Poor Patty got Facebook kind of blocked her a little bit. Yes, kind of. Gotcha. Well, we had to do Thanksgiving the day after Thanksgiving because of all our work schedules. So, yes, I see that. How are you doing, honey? All right, guys. So, listen, I went to the thrift store because I was jonesing. We all know I go every day after work to the one around the corner from me. Hi, Charlene. How are you? Welcome in. My parents really don't do Christmas, but we do a dinner. That's awesome. How is lovely Canada? Hello, Joy. How are you? So I went to the thrift store after work today, and I'm like, it's been a couple days. I gotta go. So listen, I know Christmas is over, but I fell in love with this. Hi, Angel. How are you? And I had to get it because it was so cute. Seriously. How cute is he? Hi, Lori. How are you? Happy day after Christmas. Seriously, his eyes are a little funky, but he's cute. And he's in the shape of a moon. So I'll be putting him away for next Christmas, but I love him. I told myself, don't buy anything for Christmas. Don't buy anything for Christmas. And I know I love him. Good, now I got to give my Christmas wishes. Christmas at least. Yes. Yeah, I fell in love with him, so I had to have him. And then, look how cute she is. She's holding a little bird because we love our angels. Hi, Kathy. How are you? So I think, I don't know, I like want to do them now. I don't even want to wait. I know. I had one that was so nice but broke on my move. I almost want to do them now. Hi, Jenny. How are you? But I told myself no more Christmas, so we'll save him for next year and we'll do something fun with him. He is super cute. I didn't realize that piece with the keys was so big. This thing is huge. There goes the green hair. I love it. Thank you. Yes, this is something we grabbed on, I did a live at the Goodwill, and it's huge. I mean, I like it the way it is, but it's kind of fun. It's not funky looking. I want to clean it up, and I want to do something a little different. I'm not a fan of that red, I guess. Maybe if it was a different red. And then we're going to put some molds right here. And then I have the Totally Dazzled keys. How are you, Jenny? That I want to put on there too. And this is the stuff I just fall in love with. So all these ornate pieces. So I love molds. I love working with clay. I just love all the kind of mixed media look. So we're going to do this puppy up. I paid $3.33 for this thing. And it's not super heavy. Sometimes I do, and you know what? The funny thing is, I have stashes of it, and I keep forgetting that I have stashes of it, and I gotta just start doing what I have. You don't want to hear what I'm dealing with, but just got home from my friend's house, was listening while driving. Told you about just don't touch the phone when you're driving. And then I found this gorgeous bottle. I don't know that I've ever seen one like this. I've seen them in similar, but not just literally two-sided. And you guys know, I usually get a lot of my stuff half off. So this was $5.66, and I'm sure I got that half off. I'm obsessed with old bottles. And then I got this one. Not quite sure because of the grooves in it what we're gonna do, but I love that one. Yes, that first bottle, I'm in love with it. I gotta find something really special to do with that bottle. And I love the tops to all these. This thing's a little dirty, but I have this one. Oh crap, I seen a bottle almost just like that. So I have this one. This one's a little dirty, but we'll clean her up. So yeah, I love the tops to all of these because we got that one, this big square one, and then I loved that this was kind of like same shape as the bottle. And then I have, I don't know, I have all these other ones on my desk. I need to start moving them out of here. So remember that thing I did the other night that had the roses, and I never did put the corners on, guys, with Christmas. I got very sidetracked, but I did this piece the other day that had that flat back old-fashioned picture on it. So I'm walking through the thrift store today, and I'm like, what are the chances? Of course, I walked across another one. It's a little different. Hi, Cindy, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. Let me know where you're from. So I got this one. This one's got kind of like the grapes on it, and it's got two little openings to it, but that one was cool. You were waiting to see that? I didn't get to the corners only because of, you know, the craziness of the Christmas, but yeah, so that's that one. I still got to do, I decided I'm going to do clay molds on the corners. And we'll just put a lot of gold on that, I think. Hi, Michelle, how are you? So yes, so what I think I'm going to do is we're going to totally change this up. But I have, and the funny thing is you can put this anyway. So I'm going to put some glue molds right here. Hi, Wanda, how are you? From PA. Where in PA? I'm in Ohio, darling. Hi, Michelle, how are you? Let me know where you're from. So I think the mold we're going to use is, this is from a Prima mold, but we have these here that go both directions, and I'm thinking we could do 4 of them, and we're just going to place 4 on there, and we're going to kind of in Pittsburgh. Okay, I'm over in the Cleveland area. Hello, my wifey. My Cheryl is on. It's cold. Is it super cold in Alabama too, Wanda? It's better here. Guys, I went to get in my car Christmas Eve. I don't know if you guys, I did a live Christmas Eve, a little quick one. But I went to get in my car Christmas Eve. I was looking at molds online, got overwhelmed. I can't even look at molds online because number one, I forget what I have, which is bad. And then number two, I never know which one to pick. Hi Deb with Cruise Designs, how are you, hon? So I'm just gonna put some glue in here and get that started. We're gonna slick stick this whole thing to prime it. And for what I'm thinking of doing with this, it might take a while. So what I might do is be on here and get most of it primed, prepped, get these molds down, start kind of the paint process. I'll let you guys know what I'm doing here. I wanna stay with like the mixed media, and I think I wanna do a lot of like the gold tones, like the bronze tones. Deb's in the house. She is in the house. It is not summer yet. Where is a good place to get molds? So I go, hi Beth, how are you? So I go on Amazon, honestly, and I buy them. You can go on Etsy. I shop a lot on Etsy for a lot of my stuff. I know a lot of different crafters and so forth are affiliates, and they have links where you can get it as well. So if you watch other crafters and they happen to be an affiliate or they have a link tree up, you can find them there. I do not at the current moment, but I do a lot of Amazon, I'm not gonna lie, and Etsy. It's 46 in Calgary. Oh boy. Thank you for the hearts, guys. My Christmas was good, Deb. How was yours? Hello, S&J's Crafting Space. How are you, darling? Susie, right? So we're just gonna put the glue right into the molds, and you don't have to put anything in the mold. Just put the hot glue right in. I like to use clay, but unless I prep it beforehand, clay can be, I need to get a better clay to be doing on lives. And we're gonna be doing a lot of priming and painting, so these glue molds are gonna stick very well. Trust me. I just have to pull out more glue. I get Amazon way too much too, but I got me some Amazon gift cards, so I'm golden. So yeah, you can go on there and they have so many molds on Amazon. It does get overwhelming. And if you're new to molds, what I'm gonna say is go with a mold. Did you guys just watch that? You know I just put hot glue in this mold, right? And then I just picked it up with my hand. And, well, I now have glue all over my hands. Hi, Robin. How are you? Well, y'all just witnessed a big ol' oopsie. We're going to have to wait for that to dry and pull it out. Yeah, it wasn't super hot. It just, I destroyed it. So, yeah. But we're going to have to wait for it to dry to come out in one piece. That was fun. Hi, Mary. How are you? Leave it to me. So we are definitely going to go ahead and just start the slick stick on here. So I want to get, we're going to leave this side as is because that's where I want to put the glue molds that I just destroyed with my hands. And I know this is beautiful the way it is. However, it's pretty grungy. It looks like it's been around for a while. It's pretty beat up. So I want to bring new life to it. I kind of don't want to have this red. We may keep the black and do like maybe a rust color over it. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the golds and the bronze and maybe kind of a rust color. And I have those Totally Dazzled keys that we're going to stick on there too. And they're beautiful. And we're going to stick a tiny bit of bling on here. Because of course the Totally Dazzled has a little bit of bling. Thank you for the hearts, guys. How are you, Robin? Holler at me if you're on here because I want to show you something. I just showed them these gorgeous bottles I got while I was at the Goodwill. And I'm obsessed. And I'm wondering if that Maryland paper I just ordered from you would fit on the one. Oh, I got to show you this other thing. That's one of the reasons I wanted to show you what I got at Goodwill. So you guys are going to help me out because I got this beautiful piece of Goodwill and my mind is going a million miles a minute. So you guys are going to have to help me decide what we're doing with it. I don't know why it shows up on my phone. It won't show up on my iPad, which is where I usually read. Facebook has been so wonky lately. I don't understand. So I love this piece because it just has all kinds of different nooks and crannies and textures to it to give it that old world kind of look. And that's what I want to keep. Are my comments frozen? Let's see if I'm on here. Sorry guys, trying to get this to work. There we are. Nope, I'm not frozen. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys. For whatever reason, I'm not seeing it up here. All right. Hi, Mary. How are you? Let's fix our glue molds, guys, since I had to stick my hands in them like a bozo. So we're going to put this mold, and then I got to show you guys what I got down here next to me because... And I just pulled it out of the package. It's brand new. And it's cute the way it is, but let's just say it's made, it's a shadow box, but it's a shadow box of a bathroom. I don't know, other than putting it in your bathroom, if you really want a shadow box with a toilet in it, because it does have a toilet in it. Everything else that's in it is super cute. So what I'm thinking is, so you know how I always want to, I say I want to redo this room into a complete Maryland room, and that dresser behind me, I want to get rid of that and get one of those beautiful kind of boho style, not sure what the word is, but they have like those curvy dressers, and I want to do a big old Maryland dresser behind me. What brand of molds do you recommend? So I use the Redesign Prima. I can pull a few of mine out here once I get this glue in here and show you, because there's all different kinds. And what I was trying to show you when I was doing this mold is it's a bigger mold, so it doesn't have a ton of detail. I'll let this sit up and I'll show it to you. And I recommend you start with those, because when I first started, I grabbed these beautiful molds that had all these different textures and tiny little nooks and crannies. And to learn on one of those is a little rough. So I suggest if you're a first time playing with a mold, that you get something that's got not as much detail and has more clay or glue space for you, just until you get the hang of it, especially if you're going to use clay, especially if you use clay, because clay is a little more complicated than the glue molds. And when you use clay, you want to fill your molds with cornstarch. You know, take a brush and fill them with cornstarch and brush that cornstarch into all the details. Ooh, a mid-century modern dresser would go perfect. That's what I want. Like, I don't want a square dresser. I want something that's got like rounded edges, that's kind of got that curvy, am I allowed to say it on Facebook, sexy feel? So like these molds I would not recommend if you're starting out. These are tiny little, very detailed molds. I get these all over Amazon. And then, so we all have seen these a million times, these bauble molds, and I think they're sold out everywhere unless you go onto Etsy and find somebody that still has them. These are a little better to work with because it's a bigger space. Hi, Stace. I do miss you, darling. How are you doing? So I have all kinds of molds. I've got molds for Michael's. These are more of what I'm talking about. Like, they're super detailed. Unless you're already good at doing clay and glue, I would not recommend those. I recommend the one that I'm using, actually. Or these are the trim molds. So a lot of these are, they're not marked. So you get a lot of these on Amazon. These are just different trims. Hi Sharon, how are you? I do have a lot of Prima molds. I have the, of course I got the cherub, right? These are a little bigger, so they got detail in them, but do you see what I mean by they're wider? So they're probably easier for you to work with as opposed to those tiny little detail-oriented ones. Like this is one I got. Believe it or not, I got this at either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Just peachy. I'm good, honey. How are you feeling? How was your Christmas? All right, so I want to show you this thing I got. So I walked past this at the thrift store today. It needs cleaned. My husband and me just took it out of the package to see if we could tear it apart. It does come apart back there, so it... Really? Hi, Mike. Hi, Michael. So, like I said, it's got a toilet in it. Like, oh wait, that's not the toilet. There's the toilet. I don't know that I necessarily want the bathroom, but can you see those frames in there? Because I'm obsessed with those. And it's got that little vanity mirror frame. I'm trying to get it without getting the ring light in it. So let me see if I can. So that has a little corner hutch, and it's got perfume bottle in there. It's got a basket. Seriously, the toilet paper holder's cute, but come on. And it's got a curtain. So I love the box that it's in, because look at that frame. We know that's something I would absolutely love. So what I'm thinking is we can tear this thing apart and turn this into a Maryland room themed room, or a bling room, or a fairy garden, or I don't know. You guys throw me out some ideas. I would love to turn this into my dream Maryland room, because I can put Maryland into those frames. We're knocking out the toilet. I told my husband he's doing some construction and he's got to take the toilet out for me. I love it. So definitely, if you guys have any ideas while you're looking at it, because those frames are staying one way or another. We'll figure out those frames in that shelf. I don't know if that'll stay. There's a little wastebasket in there. That's what I was thinking. I'm kind of loving the Maryland room idea. I mean, I haven't been able to get mine done yet. Maybe I can work on this one. Because what I thought is I can order pieces too off of Amazon, like miniatures. I'm not big on, I don't know much about the miniatures, so I'll have to do a little Googling and researching on where to find the best ones. Fairy garden stuff is cute. That I can work with. But this might be a fun, cute little project to do, I was thinking. It's something out of the box, literally, and way different. I don't know about different for me because it's Maryland, but it's definitely out of my realm of things to do. Paint the diamond shapes a different color too. That's what all kind of, yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I have these beautiful papers, because you can actually, I was thinking of just putting a craft paper behind it that has like a beautiful, maybe black and silver design, because they make those all glittery and with the diamonds and the diamond pattern and everything too, as opposed to like hand painting all that. So guys, I'm just putting Slick Stick down on this piece. I'll bring you down a little bit so you can see. But yeah, that's the piece I was so excited to show you guys. And I almost forgot. So are we liking the idea of doing a Maryland room? Maryland in the tub. Well, I don't, can we do that? I don't know if we should do that. I would have to get a doll and make it look like Maryland. Now you're really pushing me. I can maybe get a little chair. And I wonder if they have little Maryland miniatures. We can put her in a chair in like a little reading corner. Well, what I was thinking is I was going to do the dresser. So what I want to do is decoupage a dresser, Maryland. And if I can find little pieces or even print out little pieces of Maryland. And actually, I wanted to ask Jeannie, who does those bookmarks, if she would have access to something that small, because she works on little pieces. So if I see her pop in here, we're going to ask her, because I would need some very, very small pictures of Maryland. So I'm going to pull these, molds are almost dry. I'm going to pull these out and get the first two stuck to this. And I'll show you these molds for who was asking. So you want to get down into all of this. Some of these are very dark colors and we want to cover them. Like I said, I love actually the look of this one that's gold. But I think that's what we're going to stick with that center one, is kind of that gold. We're just going to jazz it up a bit, and it's going to be a little bit of a brighter gold. Or a richer gold, I should say. And this slick stick dries pretty fast, as long as you don't stick a ton of it down in those little crevices. So guys, I got to feel, so y'all know my oldest, if you're following me, my oldest is pregnant with her second. My granddaughter is 7. And no, we don't know what she's having, but I got to feel the baby yesterday. I was so excited. Black and silver or red and silver. I love black and silver, and that's that. That's why I ended up doing that behind me. That frame with the jeweled hearts in it. I know a lot of people sometimes tend to be looking sideways when I do an old frame like that with the black and the silver, but I love it. Because pieces like this, all that gorgeous ornate material is stunning when you have a black background and then you put that silver, especially that pen art wax paste on there, and it's gorgeous. It really picks up the detail. It was very exciting. I know, I was like, and it was as she was leaving, because I was waiting to feel the baby the whole time. And as she was leaving, I grabbed her belly and I said, okay, well, Grandma's been waiting. And it's one of those moments that kind of takes your breath away. Listen, my kids can fill my house with 1 million grandbabies and I'd be happy. I love me some babies. So then these just pop right out of the mold. Simple as that. But this is the mold I was using. So this is by Prima as well. And see what I mean? Like, I mean, that's a beautiful piece and I love these two. This is probably one of my favorites. But it's wider, so it's a lot more forgiving. So I'm going to do is turn this puppy around. And what we want to do is arrange these on the side. If you get a little bit of glue along the outside, it easily pulls right off. So I want to kind of make these maybe we'll go this way. No. I don't want them going the same way. Bring that one this way. Bring that one this way. Let's do the other two so we can see how they're gonna lay. So did anybody get anything super exciting for Christmas? Aw. So, is anybody expecting yet, or you're just sitting around waiting? Hi, Marcia. How are you, sweet lady? I miss seeing your face up here. I actually miss you guys very much when I'm not on. Hi, Sarah. How are you? We are redoing this big old frame that we found at a Goodwill. I'm doing the boring part right now, which is filling some glue molds. I know you guys can't see me. I'm sorry. And this is a big piece on my table. And the funny thing is that my Lazy Susan here is huge. It's one of the biggest ones you could find. And this thing still takes up the whole Lazy Susan. But if you've ever been in my lives, you know I kind of go big. I love me big pieces. All right, we'll let that set to dry. My oldest says no way to kids. My youngest is proposing on New Year. How exciting is that? How old are yours, Marcia? Or I'm sorry, not Marcia. Becky. I have 5 step-grandkids, but never really around them. Aw. I'm going to have a step-grandkid. Well, no, I'm not going to have a step-grandkid. I'm going to have I say it's an adopted grandkid, because my son is moving in with his girlfriend who has a almost 3-year-old. Okay. So yours are about the same age. I just have one stuck there in the middle between yours. So my oldest is 32. Lord help me. I can't do this again because they see this live. They're going to get mad at me. Mine are about the same age. And then I have one in the middle. My baby just had his birthday December 22nd. It is the best feeling to be a grandma. I'm still laughing about the Marilyn in the tub. Because that would be something I would do, but... So did you guys get anything exciting for Christmas? I have one granddaughter, and she will be our only Oh, wow, 22. You have a 22-year-old granddaughter? Get out of here. Odie, stop, Bubby. I can hear my dog scratching in the other room. Guys, he's going to have to go back to the vet. I don't know what's going on. My daughter's having the same problem with her dog. The allergies are unreal right now. You would think with winter, usually it's never an issue in the winter, and I don't understand. He's fine 1 minute, he's not the next. I got a white toolbox on wheels with wood top. Oh, nice. I didn't get nothing like that. Listen, I don't think my family would know what to get me for my crafts because I'm forever looking at new storage containers and buying new little boxes and containers to put stuff in, and there's still not enough room. I'm gonna have to buy a house just for crafts. I'm not too concerned about how this is laying, as I just want it to kind of cover everything. As I think this is going to get like on the side here, a beautiful bronze color. We're going to keep it that dark and bronze, and then we're going to go over it with a gold. You know, this is why my turntable's a hot mess, because I am the messiest painter. I just kind of slap it on there. Let's pull those other glue molds out, and we'll put those in. Are they ready? I'm gonna add a little more in here. If you feel like you missed a spot, I always just hit it with the tip of my glue gun. Kind of, because it's hot, and melts it in, and put a little bit more glue in there. I don't know if you all caught me on my, I know a lot of people weren't on, and that was fine. I just jumped on for the heck of it because, you know, they like to see you doing live. So I jumped on Christmas Eve. I received from my boyfriend a large screen Sony Smart. Nice. Good for you, Marcia. But I hopped on really quick and I did that horse photo in that beautiful frame. Kind of loving how that turned out. It was just a quick live. I was like, well, I got a while till everybody gets here for dinner. And in true fashion, my daughter is always late. That was very thoughtful. See, big piece, knocking everything down. Hey, Robin, are you back? If you're on for a hot minute, holler at me because I want to show you these bottles. Tell me if you think one would be good for the Maryland bottle. You guys, Robin did the most beautiful Maryland bottle, and I had to order the paper she used. And now I'm determined to make it just as pretty as hers, but I doubt that's going to happen, because hers was, she knocked that right out of the park. Hi, B. How are you, darling? Robin, I think this board that I'm doing is going to be definitely up your alley. Thank you for coming on, B. I don't know that this will get finished right here on this live. I may, if I have to, I'll come back on a little bit later. Good. How was your Christmas, darling? You're back. Robin, look at this bottle. I was showing everybody when I first got on. Tell me that's not beautiful. I don't know if that paper will fit right in there though because of the triangle. But then I got this one. It's kind of got grooves in it. And this one. This is kind of how I want my dresser. No lie. It's beautiful. I've got to go her page and put order in what I wanted. Yeah, that's my problem. Ask her. I do like, I've ordered a couple times, but I told her, I said, I'm ordering Thursday again. I'm a server. I get paid daily with my tips and so forth, but we have this little pay card. So the little bit that we get paid on our pay card, that's what I use on Thursdays. And I'm like, great. So now my Thursdays are going to be for Robin's song. Because kind of having a little of an addiction with her site. What do you think of the bottles, Robin? Which one? Do you like the triangle one? Yeah, it turns into a problem, but I have an addiction with all craft supplies, so. All right, let's get these other molds out of here. Like I said, they just pop right on out. And Robin, so we got this. I got to show you. I'm sorry, guys. I know I already tortured you with it. I found the shadow box. It was still in the container, still in its package. I'm sorry. So look at the frames inside of the shadow box. Listen, there's a toilet. We're getting rid of the toilet. My phone died. I had to jump on the computer and I saw it. Okay, I'll show you. We're getting rid of the toilet. Girl, you know we're changing this all up. This is so out of my realm, but we're going to figure it out. But look at the detail on the candles, everything that's in there. And then you got the frame. And it does come apart, so we can take this all apart. So, hi Stella, how are you? So I told my husband he's got to do construction and remove a toilet and a corner piece. However, do you see the perfume bottles that are in here? So, how are you, Stella? So we are going to, and thank you for whoever sprinkled me out. I saw that earlier. Thank you, darling. I think we're going to turn it into a Maryland room. We're going to get a dresser and maybe one of those old velvet looking chairs. Does that make sense? If y'all know what I'm talking about. Or those, what do they call them? Settees. It's not really a chair. It's kind of like a love seat, but the old school, like the antique looking one. me and my friend Cheryl, who we call each other wifey on here, so you'll hear me say hi, wifey. And I'm great. So we went looking at some, and I found one that I really, really wanted when I originally had just the Maryland room, and it wasn't my craft room, but it wouldn't fit. I'm glad I didn't get it, but she'll tell you I had a hard time walking out of there without it. It's a lot of money, though. But I'm thinking of seeing if I can find something online that's like little miniatures that we can put in there. I forgot about the velvet powder. I need velvet powder. And you need to show me how to use it. I know I've seen you use it, but I totally forgot about that. That's perfect. See, I knew I kept you around for a reason. All right, guys, we're going to lay these molds on here and get them glued down so we can get those painted in too. So if you're just popping on and you did not see the beginning of this, so I do have the picture of this piece the way it was in original form on my page. And we're jazzing it up. I'm putting some Prima molds on here. I'm using this mold. And we're just putting those on this side that doesn't have any detail. So we see how like it's got all that ornate detail on the corners here, along with those keys. And then this was just like a straight edge. And I wanted to get rid of that and put some detail over here. So we're gonna lay these down the way we want them. If you can see, I'll try to bring it to you a little bit. And I kind of want to stagger these. How do I have this here? That's how I had it. Okay. And then this will meet in the middle. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and put these down. I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue, or just melt the hot glue that's on it. And I'm going to use some B7000 just so I can get it to stay on here. And we can paint over it. And with all the paint that we're going to use, Otis is in here sniffing for anything he can find. I think along with his allergies and his pills, he's hungry. You saying hi, Bubby? Say hi. So I like to kind of hold this on the mold and get the glue a little warm. I don't like to use a ton of hot glue on the glue molds because it does give it added height. And you don't want to get the glue mixed in with it. Bubby, get out of the bag, honey. With the B7000, because it won't work together. It's like they cancel each other out. I don't know why. I can't explain it. But it won't stick. Yes, there's Otis. All right, everybody say hi, Otis, because he's, you know, we all know he's a star. Everybody loves the Otis. Robin, I think they come on here for Otis. You have your cats. I have Otis. I really like to use the B7000, especially along the edges, because I don't want the edges of this mold popping up. You see how I'm just rubbing the hot tip into the glue, and then I'll release a little bit of glue. He is cute. Yes, he is cute. He's not just cute, he's just a good boy. Did you guys see the Christmas video I put up of him? He got a dog bed as a stuffy because, you know, it had to be that big. Because he's so big. You can take any little loose strings off. Now he's laying behind me. I can't have him staying on his meds, so we're going to have to do something with the vet. I'm not quite sure what. I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet, spend the money to have him tested as to what exactly his allergies are. Because by the time I'm done paying for all his meds, I might as well have paid for the test, right? Everybody's like, oh, dog allergy pills are so expensive. Yep, you should see his size. He couldn't be cuter. He is a good boy. I couldn't have asked for a better dog, honestly. It's amazing how molds do transform a piece. Yes, that's why I love them. And I am using glue on these. Like I said, I love to do, unless I do, I'm not as quick as you with the clay molds, but I think I need to order some of that Joby clay because I think that's what my problem is. I'm pretty good with them now, but it's my clay. So I need to order some of that clay. Maybe I'll put that in Thursday's order too. Because for the bottles, I use clay. I don't use glue molds. And some of my other projects, I use clay. Is it great? So what I find is some of the clay is very either too sticky, no matter how much cornstarch I use, or just, I don't mind the cracks because I like, we all know I love that antique kind of edgy look to where it looks like it's beat up, but some of them crack horribly. So yeah, I'll definitely be placing an order with you on Thursday. So when are we doing our live, Robin? And you're gonna do an angel bottle? You're quicker than that, than me. Just a little cornstarch, you will not have an issue. Good. Because I'd rather work with clay. I like the way the clay looks. I mean, for something like this, the glue molds aren't bad. But for a lot of my other stuff, so I'm just gonna carefully go around these molds. Because the edges I have that B7000 on, and that'll take a few minutes. And you paint right over the top of your molds. Like I said, this is just slick stick, so we're just priming this right now. And then we're gonna go in, and I think what we're gonna do is, so this is kind of sectioned. You see how it's got, let me grab it while I have an area to grab it. So it's got this section right here, and then it's got that center, and then it's got this corner. So what I think we're gonna do is work in sections. That way, if I don't get it finished and I have to pop back on, I can pop back on, or we can finish it tomorrow. Because I do have to, what time is it? I have till about 8, but I didn't want to keep you guys on that long. I can do next week or Wednesday of this week. Perfect. Yeah, you're gonna have to help me work out some kinks on that. So I tried to bring poor Jenny from Rose House Crafts in here the other day, and we couldn't hear her. So we'll have to, if you know how to do that, work out all the kinks. I'm new to that, girl, new. So would you guys want to see me and Robin do a live together? We were going to do our bottles. We haven't figured out when or how, but it's discuss. We got to discuss. Sounds good. She does beautiful work, guys. So I laugh because we like the same stuff. So it's like sister from another mister. Alright guys, this is almost all primed, and then we're going to pick out our paint. So I'm thinking on this side that's got all this detail on it, we're going to do like a deep dark antique color. And I think that's what we're going to do on this side too. And what do you guys think of just in the middle, maybe doing a wax and then a light, like dry brushing of like that deep dark color and kind of giving it that mixed look, and then doing the keys, we'll do the keys, they'll be their bold, beautiful colors. I'm thinking like bronzes, maybe a rust color, maybe a little shinier gold one. We can do the small one a little shinier gold. And then I have you guys seen the Totally Dazzled keys yet? I'm sure some of you that watch other crafters have seen them, but they're gorgeous. So we're gonna incorporate those in here somehow. And I think we might bling one of these keys out. Let's see if I can find. Oh, my drawers are getting heavy with the bling. Yes, I think that would be a wonderful collaboration. Oh, awesome. Absolutely. So I'm thinking the key I wanted to use on here, we may use 2 of them, but these are the beautiful keys. Bubby, no. Where's the other one? Maybe it was this one. So we have this one, it's got like a lot of bling on it. And then I have this one that's got the crown on it. And we can actually bling out this center one to kind of match that bling key. What do you guys think? That was my thought process. And we don't have to bling it out like to where it's like super blingy, but with that deeper, darker color of those gems I have, and keep it that old world look, if that makes sense. And I don't even think I'm going to paint over this white. I think I'm going to just leave this because I want it to have that beat up old look. So I don't have to have a stark white underneath. This is not going to be a perfect looking piece. If you saw it from the beginning, I love Totally Dazzled too. If you saw it from the beginning, it's pretty grungy and beat up, and I kind of want to have a little bit of that effect. So I'm feeling I don't have a need to go over this with white paint. I just wanted to prime it and get that original color off. You need those keys, Stella. I don't have a million. I've placed a few orders. I don't have a million. I know a lot of people have like huge obsession with it. I do too. I just haven't ordered a ton of it. All right, where is my heat tool? There we go. I'm just gonna put a little heat on this. How was your Christmas, Stella? Oh, I didn't mix that. That was Crystal Light, and I didn't mix it. Or did I already ask you that? See, it's so big, I keep knocking stuff over. Robin, look what I found when I went thrifting. Because the one sandal wasn't enough, I couldn't pass them up. I said no more Christmas, but I couldn't walk away from them. I fell in love. Thank you for the hearts. Isn't it cute? I love that he's a half a moon. You know what I need to find like this? Is like a fairy or some kind of garden gnome or something that's half moon like that. I think that would be awesome. I love that shape. My Christmas was exhausting. Listen, I was jealous of your food when you posted it. So you need to find me a vegan version and send it ASAP. I love Santa, yes. Just gonna dry it a little faster. Mine was good, exhausting as well. Christmas Eve, I fell asleep. Not gonna lie, because I had to work. And, you know, we're just super short-staffed, and it was just hectic and crazy. And it wasn't even that we were super, super busy, but I don't know. It's just a whole different world now, being in the service industry. So I say sometimes the stress will eat you alive with it. So this is my getaway. Wouldn't it be great to do this full time? I would love that. I feel like that would be fun. I missed the spot, guys. Don't ask me how. It's a good thing that's the last thing we're painting. Are y'all still with me? What was that you made, Stella? It was, I want to say tamales. It's not tamales. Is it tamales? Making a hot mess all over here. You're painting. It's all good, darling. Listen, I paint and craft sometimes while I'm watching. I clean house. This is how I walk around. My husband looks at me like I'm crazy. So we're gonna mix some dark paint here. And I think what I'm gonna do is this. So I want this is antique copper, and I want a chocolate brown. I'm not doing I don't think I'm doing any black. So I use the Folk Art Metallic Chocolate, yes, tamales. I should have worked, that would have been easier. What do you do, Stella? And then I use the metallic Folk Art Antique Copper. So I'm hoping this is a dark enough color without using black, because I really don't want to go black. So let's play with this and see how we like it. You know what? I am going to add black. You know why? Because we're going to use the antique copper on the top. So I'm going to use the Folk Art Metallic Sequin Black. And we're going to mix that in there. And then those, ooh, that was a lot. And then those pieces on top, like all this ornate, is what we're going to use the copper on. I did Oh, I'm gonna have to read that out here. Ham, turkey, 6 cheesecakes. Girl. Have you lost your mind? Who makes 6 cheesecakes? It's a lot of cheesecake. So we all know I love my metallics. Get a medium sort of brush. I need you to make me some tamales, girl. Those looked phenomenal. Now this is a very, it's gonna need a little more black. I cook for all my family, aunts, and oh, that's awesome. You know, and that's what I was telling my husband. I'm like, so I don't know what happened. My husband took over the cooking. I used to do it. How am I getting paint all over, guys? Send help. And so my daughter, the pregnant one, I used to do, on the weekends when my kids were little, I used to do breakfast every Sunday. And, you know, that was when I was a stay-at-home mom, when my kids were little. And I used to make, I don't know what you call them, country fried potatoes. So I just take potatoes, like baker potatoes, and you cook them, and then you stick them in a skillet with all kinds of spices and onions and tons of butter and olive oil, and just fry the heck out of them. I call them country potatoes. And she's pregnant. She's like, oh, I need some of those potatoes. So, of course, I had to make those. But my husband does dinner on Christmas Eve, and it's like prime rib, and I don't know, he makes, listen, I used to make candied carrots, and they were phenomenal. He does them totally different than me. I can't eat them anymore. I went vegan about 8 years ago. So, I'm sure mine were better. But so then he does, I don't know, like corn. He made some sweet potato stuff, and he somehow took over Christmas dinner. And I was like, you're making me feel a certain type of way about that. But then the next morning I made potatoes for my daughter, and I felt better, and that was exhausting. Don't ask me why. So can we see, you probably want to see what I'm doing here. Can we see that color? It's got like that rich kind of chocolate undertones to it. So that's what we're going to be doing here. And then the top of it, all that detail will be like a beautiful bronze. Thank you for the hearts, guys. I can see them floating past me. I do too. I love mixing any metallics and getting that beautiful color. So I always tell you guys, if you can't see what I'm doing, holler at me. I'll turn the camera on you, I promise. I'm kind of go off into my own world when I'm painting. So that's kind of the rich color I was looking for this section of this. And I think that's what I'm going to do along all the edges too. Is like all the sides of this, it's going to be this color. means I should have mixed more paint. It's okay. You know that game I told you about that I said I was going to play with my family? So we did it. My poor granddaughter was so confused. She's like, left, right, I don't know which way to go. That was kind of cute. And then I wanted to videotape my kids going to the candy tree. I have a video of the candy tree, you know, filled with candy, and then my Christmas tree that I never put up. So I'll put that up tonight. But my kids decided to tackle each other getting to the candy tree. So I was like, I probably shouldn't show violence on Facebook. Told them they weren't allowed to be violent next to the pregnant one. And I sent my poor granddaughter first. I said, go pick 5 things off the tree. And in true form, my 2 middle children have to tackle and fight each other. So I couldn't get video of them doing it because probably wouldn't look good for Facebook. Do we like this color? Hi, Sandy, how are you? How you doing, darling? How was your Christmas? And guys, metallic paint dries pretty fast, so I'm just gonna put a dryer on here for what we have so far. I want to get along in these edges a little bit. Guys, feel free to sprinkle me out there. I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you. So I'm kind of not going perfectly into the frame of the next part of this because we're gonna blend that, whatever we decide to do in the middle, we'll blend that color up here a little bit. But I wanted to get this top round. Thank you, Becky. Appreciate you, darling. I feel like everybody's also recovering today, so I know I would have liked to, as opposed to going to work. So this is what I think we're gonna do for that side. And then we're gonna do, I'm gonna put one more coat on it real quick. Well, we're looking at it upside down. So what do you think? Should we do both of these sides that color and then do the inside a different? Because what did this, I gotta go back and look. I almost forgot about the sprinkle being outside the loop for a bit. You're okay, darling. So I'm gonna come out of this page. I'm trying to think of what this looked like. So the other side was that red I didn't like. So I'm thinking we do both sides that same color, and then the middle will be just something different. So again, I'm using that Folk Art Metallic Chocolate Brown, a little bit of the Folk Art Metallic Antique Copper, and then some of the Metallic Black. And that's gonna be the whole outside, and maybe we'll just do the center a different color. Yes, both sides that color, Robin. That way it's a little more uniform, is what I'm thinking. Make sure my paint matches. Perfect. I've been getting pretty good at matching the paint. Was Santa good to you? Santa was good to me, yes. I don't ever expect anybody to get me anything. Stella, did I tell you I got your package? Yes, I did. We talked about that. I never expect anybody to get me anything. So I'll throw out there if there's something I want. Like I told my daughter, I wanted one of those immersion blenders, like one of those little blenders you can stick in your pot. To like, you know, for soups and stuff like that. And I got that. My daughter got me some beautiful candle holders. I mean, beautiful ones. Me and my husband don't really get each other anything because we kind of get whatever we want anyway. Oh, the funny part is last night, I sent him some stuff off of Amazon I wanted. And it was all blingy stuff. So he ordered it. So I guess I got that from him. But I do that all the time, so I don't ask for nothing. I just love watching my kids open their gifts. But I feel like in the chaos of everything, especially when you have like little ones, you almost lose out on that too, because I'm out there handing out the gifts and I miss them opening them and their reactions, and that's a bummer for me. How about you, Stella? Did you get anything fun? Yes, I love it. And especially with the little ones. That's what I miss the most. You know, we all sit here and complain. It's funny because I'll listen to, you know, I work with a lot of younger moms, teenagers, stuff like that. And they're like, oh, I spent hours cleaning up and you got to put all these toys together and all the batteries and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, girl, I'm telling you, I listened to nobody when they told me one day you're going to realize those were the best days of your life and you're going to miss that like you wouldn't believe. House was trashed, you know, and I'm like, yep, you're going to miss it. I promise you. Because I listened to nobody. I thought it would take my whole life for that to stop being true, you know? And it goes by so fast. It's unreal. I'd give anything to have those days back. I know a lot of people think I'm nuts, but I loved it. But even when mine were older and they were teenagers, and don't get me wrong, we fought like cats and dogs, but I loved them to death and I had a blast with them. You know, my son was in football. My daughter, I coached soccer. We helped coach football, wrestling. My son wrestled. My son played basketball. And then my oldest was in softball. And I was a definite football and wrestling mom. 100%. I would have got down on the mat and wrestled anybody. And then football, I'd have gone out there and tackled anybody. I didn't care. So I was that mom. I agree with you about the little ones. Yeah. So I was definitely, hi Sandy. Or did I say hi to you already, darling? I'm sorry. You got a Disney purse and a matching wallet and much more. I said I didn't want anything. They didn't listen, so. Aw, that's sweet. So the football team used to hang out here, and I used to love it. Like, and it was funny because they all liked something different. So they always called it midnight tacos. I would take them out for midnight tacos, literally midnight. We'd run to Taco Bell and I'd have this van full of like the football kids, because they all played the same sports together. Not all of them wrestled, but they were all together. And my son had the greatest group of friends. My daughter did too. She had some girls that I love to death to this day. And, you know, one by one, they all just started calling me Mom, which was hilarious. And those boys kept me on my toes. It was insane. They were always here. They'd come in after school, eat, and then walk right up the road to school for football. And it was like a tornado whirlwind went through my house. It's like I would have pizza, nuggets, whatever. They come in, they tear the place apart, leave you a mess, and go off to football. And you'd be like, why do I do this? And then when they graduated, as each of them were going on stage, I was the mom. I was the one in the crowd going, every time they call a name, I'm like, no, not him too. They're all gone. I just miss them. It's amazing what you miss. And you think you won't, is the funny part. I used to tell people, oh, no, no, no. I can't wait to have my quiet. And don't get me wrong, it's nice sometimes. However, there's times you definitely miss it. You even miss the fighting. Like the football team would be here and they're out in the pool laughing and joking around and screaming, and I'd have to tell the neighbors, you know, pool party at my house tonight. Sorry for the noise. Close your windows, turn the air on, whatever. And they were always good about it because they used to sit out back and laugh when they'd hear them. My daughter, this used to be her room, and she used to scream out the window, I'm trying to sleep. And now they talk about those days like they were the best days of their life. It's kind of funny listening to them. My BFFs are all sports moms, and our girls are 34 now. That's crazy. I know. Where did the time go? I don't even understand it. I can't comprehend it, is what the problem is. I gotta dry some of this white where these molds are. It starts to make you feel really old. But yeah, so like all the girls are complaining at work, and I'm like, trust me, you'll miss it. Mark my words. When Robert is gone, Cinnamon Bear and I are. So I love that you call him Cinnamon Bear. Literally, when the first time I heard you say that, I was so confused. And then the more I watched you, I was like, oh my God, that is the cutest thing. So do you mind sharing how he got the name Cinnamon Bear? Because I'm dying to know. And if you don't want to share, that's cool. I get it. But I love that you call him that. It's like the cutest thing when I listen to you on your live. And I didn't want to ask you on your live, put you on the spot, but you're on my live, so you don't have to answer. just mixed a little bit more paint, guys. We almost there. Then we'll save the middle and do the middle on another live. Or, unless you guys want to come back, I do have a couple things I have to get done here by a certain time. So I can always come back if you guys are up for coming back on. This is not totally dry. This white's gonna take a little bit to dry on these mold pieces for some reason. So let's dry this side because oh my God, they're so cute. See, I knew I liked you. You're so cute. So just want to make sure this is dry enough that I can put, like I said, metallic dries pretty quick, but a lot of paint in there, so might be why I'm having a little bit of a hard time here. It is. I kept saying, I'm like, I gotta ask her why she calls them that, because that is so cute. I can't stand it. The gold on this side at least to show you guys what I'm doing here. I'm going to be most excited to do the keys and make them all pretty and blinged out. But I knew as big as this was, it was going to be a little bit of a process. And I am not opposed to, you know, doing it another day, coming back and doing something different tomorrow, and doing this another day. You guys tell me what you would like as nicknames for all my boys. Hi, Crystal. Gotta pop off. I'll catch her on replay. All right, Robin, I will message you. Are you on tonight, honey? Oh my God, guys. Look, I'm just going to use both of them. Dual drying tools, right? Crystal, did you get them to the airport on time? Yeah, my son has his nickname, Scooter Pie, Scooty. It was Tex for a while, Bub, Buddy. He's got kind of like my Otis has a million nicknames. I'm gonna use a cold shot. All right, so what I'm thinking I want to do here is,
let's use some antique rub and buff, but I want to also, what if we use just an antique gold or an antique copper, and I kind of rub it on with my finger. This is where I wish I had the pen art paste. Guys, I have a garnet too. Hi Kathy, how are you? Who's hot? I missed it. Both husbands? Wait, what? Who just asked that? All right. Let's see what the rub and buff looks like. We can always paint over it. I'm thinking the rub and buff will go with those Totally Dazzled, yes. We're gonna go with those Totally Dazzled keys, guys. This, yep, that's exactly what I wanted. Wasn't sure how I'd like it. I wanted to do a antique copper look, but I think I'm gonna love this. Here, I'll show you guys. Can we see that starting to pop out? So you're just gonna take your fingers, dip it in the rub and buff, and just go over the top of all this detail. And it's just gonna pick up anything that's raised and make it pop. Make sure I don't have paint on my hands. Hello, schnookums. Do we like that? Just got like that bronzy look to it. How are you, Kathy? How was your Christmas, darling? Thank you for the hearts, guys. Sprinkling out and hearts are so appreciated, especially when you're not on for a couple days, holidays or so. It definitely does a lot for your page. Helps get you out there more and share me out to the world. I'd love to hit 2,000 here, if possible, the next couple weeks. I know I just put rub and buff down. Where did I stick it? Lord, listen, I always say I'd lose my own head if it wasn't attached. I think we're at almost 18 right now, guys. So thank you for those that are always. So that's what I think. I like that. So we're going to do that on the other end. So this is what we're going to do on the other side where we attach those molds as well. We're going to do the exact same theme on that side. And like I said, I'm not going to get this all done on this live, and that's okay. Do you guys kind of see where we're going a little bit here with this? It's actually going to be gorgeous. I know it's kind of a drawn out process, but it will be beautiful. I promise. I'm actually liking using a lot of this on here, so. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I think I'm going to use a little bit more on the side too. Yes, I love that. So then, do you sell your stuff or use in your home? So some of it I use in my home. Some of it I sell. So it's hard with some of my pieces, I'm not going to lie, because some of them are, like, this is a big piece. This one is not heavy, however. Some of my pieces are really heavy, and I know with shipping, that's insane, so I do sell locally. I was doing shows up until Christmas, so I sold a lot of my stuff at my shows. I do have some things I want to put up for sale, so I can put those on my site. I have to figure out, like, the whole shipping and payment, and so, you know, all of that. Hi, Junebug, how are you? So I still have all that to kind of figure out. But yes, I do sell it. So if there's something you're really interested in, you can private message me. Some of it I keep. Usually if it's Maryland, I keep it. Not gonna lie, I've sold some of my Maryland pieces, but so this is what we're working on so far. And there's a picture of it before on my page. And we mix some paint to come up with this color. And then we put the gold rub and buff on there. We pulled out some molds that we're putting here. So we're gonna go ahead and, this should be dry enough to paint now. So we're gonna finish painting this, and we're gonna do the same thing over here. And then the center is gonna be a completely different look. And we're gonna bling out those keys, because we're going to use the Totally Dazzled key set in here as well. So I want this big center key to somewhat match that Totally Dazzled key, is what I'm thinking. But what I might do is give this like a dark waxed look as opposed to this paint. And we're going to do the keys all different colors. So we're going to do the dark wax and then the keys different colors and just keep this waxed. Does that make sense? Give it that old kind of look. And I like the whole mixed look anyway of, you know, I love mixed media. I love mixing things up. So I wasn't a fan of the red that was on here. There was red on part of it. And I'm going to put that gold rub and buff along the edges of the pieces, separating the middle piece as well. So it looks like it's transitioning over. How are you, Junebug? I feel like Facebook's being really wonky tonight. Hello, Making It with Mimi. How are you? I just saw you pop on, darling. I'm sorry. We're redoing a Goodwill find that we got here. And if it looks a little wonky right now, I promise you it won't when it's done. There's a method to my madness, I promise. I'm gonna mix a tiny bit more paint. I just got the most awesome crackle on a frame that I am making. What did you use? I love when that perfect crackle comes out. I used Mod Podge the other night and I loved how it came out on that angel that was on that box. So if you're just popping on, I'm using the Folk Art Metallic Black. Guys, my hands are all black. The Folk Art Metallic Antique Copper, and then the Chocolate Brown. And we're just mixing it to do the outside of this, and then these two ends. In the middle, we're gonna leave white with a dark wax. And then we're gonna do like a copper key. We may do a black key. Like a black metallic key, and then a gold key that's going to match those Totally Dazzled keys, the blingy one. And I think that's going to be the center one. But I found this piece at a Goodwill. I got way too super excited about it. And it keeps staring at me in my craft room. I just wasn't 100% sure how I was going to redo it. And then I got the Totally Dazzled key and said, well, that's how I'm doing it. I'm going to go down part of the way on this ridge because when we wax, I want to kind of blend in just a quarter of the way up. And you'll notice that when I mix my paint, sometimes I leave some color sitting on the side so it's not 100% mixed together, and it gives the paint a little more dimension and a little bit of a different color. So it's not always looking all one perfect color. I like kind of that different dimension look, if that makes sense. So you don't have to, unless you want it to match perfectly, you don't have to totally always match your paint. That's why you'll always see me do little batches. All right, so it's all painted. So we're gonna do the gold rub and buff on that other edge. A dryer on here. Page isn't showing that I it just shows me frozen on my page. Don't ask. Oh look, there's my comments. See, they're not showing up on my phone. That's what's going on. I'm sorry, guys. PayPal easy. Yeah, I have a PayPal that I can't get into, so my husband's gonna redo it for me. I might message you, Stella. Don't ask. Yeah, Santa, she's keeping that, right? Yes, yes, Patty. I'm keeping the big old Santa. That big old beast behind me there. That one's mine. I use Elmer's. Not froze here. Okay, it was my phone is frozen. So the phone in front of me is frozen. So I wasn't seeing any of your comments, and they weren't showing up on here. Sorry, Patty. That's you who asked whose husbands were hot. It wasn't showing me any of it. Sorry, guys. And then it's funny, it just popped up there. So I'm only getting part of I think what's happening is the same that happened to me last week for whatever reason. Mine was not quiet, Kathy. Mine was definitely louder. Same thing that was happening, you know, a week or two ago to everybody. I wasn't getting all my comments. I would get like random comments. So you used Elmer's glue? I see people use Elmer's glue. I use Mod Podge. And I put my paint down. No, I'm sorry. Put my primer down, and then I put Mod Podge down, and then I put my paint over the Mod Podge. I let the Mod Podge dry. And I was like, well, we'll see if this works. And it worked. Actually, yeah, I'll show you. I'm hoping that's dry enough. So this is that box that I did the other night. And the Mod Podge actually gave me a cute little crackle, which is what I liked. So can you see, like, and I stained over it to give it that rough and tumble look. Yeah, that was the angel we did the other night. The pearls and the bling bling. I know I got video and pictures up of it, but that's what that crackle looked like with the Mod Podge. So I liked it. I haven't done it on anything big yet. Thank you, Stella. I love the way it turned out. Thank you. That one I very much liked how it turned out, not gonna lie. All right, this is dry enough that we're gonna go ahead and put, as I put it away, the Mod Podge on. Not the Mod Podge. Listen. My brain's not working. Did you let the Mod Podge dry? I let mine dry. I mean, everybody does something different, I guess, but that's what worked for me. So now I've seen people use the Elmer's glue. I'm going to have to try that because I've seen a lot of people have good luck with that. And then I like the fine line crackle that I have from Pen Art. That's one of I'm obsessed with it, I'm not going to lie. It's like a 2-part fine line crackle that if you're using rice paper, you use that on the rice paper. Oh, it's gorgeous. That's what I used on my door that I did the live with Decoupage Queen. And I love that fine line crackle. But the Mod Podge, I just gave it a whirl the other night and it worked, to my surprise. I know how crackle is though. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Partially dry. I'm gonna have to try that on a project. Maybe I'll do that this week on a live and see how that comes out. Rose-colored glasses, hello, how are you? You're gonna have to give me your name, darling, I'm sorry. I know nobody minds them saying hello to their group, but sometimes I like to know names, you know, sometimes it'll take me a few times. But once I got it, I got it. I promise. All right, so we're gonna put that same gold rub and buff that we just used on the other side. And we're gonna do that over here. And I'll save this middle to do with you guys. And we'll finish it. To how dry you're cracking me. I found there's a fine line. Yeah, I figured, you know, it was either gonna work the other night or it wasn't. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda, how are you? I will remember at some point. I tell people it's lots of names sometimes. So sometimes I'll go through here and I'll write it down in my little notebook, but I don't always have my little notebook right next to me, so I apologize. I just like to say hello when people come in. So I do have a picture of this, the before, on my page. And we're redoing it. And I've done the sides. Like I have the left and the right side done in this beautiful color that we mixed. And then we're just gonna put rub and buff over it. And then I did the edges of the frame as well. These are glue molds that we attached on here. And I think the center we're gonna just antique wax. And I have the Totally Dazzled keys. We're gonna put those on here. And then this key I think is gonna be like a rich gold with bling on it, like that Totally Dazzled key. I'm gonna somehow hang that or attach that on here, maybe down the center of that middle key. I'm just gonna go ahead and come right up. I keep losing where I put my rub and buff. I'm gonna come around the edges of this as well. Oops. What do you guys think so far? I don't know what we would do without rub and buff. Just got home from 3-hour drive from visiting in-laws, just going to relax tonight, had a good Christmas. And just like that, it's all over after all the prep. Yes, it is after all the prep. So can you guys see that? So those are those molds we put on there. And see how we just kind of lined them up? So it's much better than that flat. And this is what I like just mixing stuff. So then we're gonna have the center. I think, how about we wax the center so that you guys have the idea of what we're gonna do in the middle. And how about I get a baby wipe, because I'm full of paint and rub and buff and all kinds of fun stuff. Hi Shelly, how are you? Well, thank you. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and dark wax the center of this. And then I should probably close my rub and buff. You're okay, you're never late. I always say you're never late. You pop it in counts. So this is what we're doing. I don't know if you saw it on my page, but we changed it up a bit. So we painted it and then we mixed the paint. We did the rub and buff. We added some molds. Same thing, rub and buff. Was in Solon and had lunch with Kathy D. Oh, nice. You should have came up. Well, you should have came up and had lunch with me. Well, I get out of work early, so I wouldn't have been there. I want to make sure I have towels in here. So I'm going to use this dark wax. And I'm going to go in here with the dark wax. We can make a lunch date. Okay. Sounds like a plan. That's all right. I would have probably had a heart attack had you showed up at my job with her. So I wouldn't have been a very good waitress. Not one bit. So I don't really want to do the key because we're going to paint that key. So we don't have to do the key. We're just going to do the white that's in here. I'm trying not to hit that rub and buff because the wax will take it off. Don't believe what? Listen, if you walked in there with her, I'd be like, no. Listen, I met her and I was like, we laughed because I know, you know, we're all people just like everybody else. I get it, but I've been watching her for so long and I think she's so sweet. I met her. I wouldn't have been. Ask anybody there. So, but when I was at Goodwill with her, I'm like, oh my God. And she goes, she saw a lamp and she said, well, are you taking that? And I'm like, no, because if you want it, why would I take it? It's like, oh my God, no. I know that seems silly, but you know, when you love someone's work and you love what they do, and I don't know. Hard to explain, I guess. That's just me. So I'm just using a chip brush, kind of rubbing the wax in. If you get it on the keys, that's okay. We're just rubbing it off, but I'm trying not to wax the keys themselves because they're going to be painted. We try to meet up every... That's so cool. She just seems so sweet and down to earth, so... You know, watching her and then meeting her and realizing that, you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, she seems like sweet people, for sure. Very helpful, too. I'll give her that. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Whoever's throwing those up. Thank you, thank you. Aw, thank you, Becky. Appreciate that, girl. Are you going to be my share queen? I love it. So we're just throwing it on there and then randomly wiping it off. I'm using paper towels on this because I want it to have a little more of a darker look. You can use baby wipes. It'll remove more. The longer you keep it on, the darker it'll stay. Or the darker, yeah, the darker it'll stay on there. You use baby wipes, you can remove a little bit more. And remember, if you don't like it, use paint, go back over it. I mean, anything can be painted back over. I mean, we painted over this whole thing, so I always say it's just paint. So, Shelly, how was your Christmas, darling? I hope it was wonderful. I'm going to go right inside. So we want the inside to look like the back of the board. keep moving that paper towel around. I actually got to grab another one. This one's getting pretty dirty. It was good. We had to reschedule my husband's family until next Saturday because of the weather. Oh, that's a bummer. Mine was good. Mine was good. I think the kids had fun. How long have I been on here? I've been on here a long, hot minute, haven't I? All right, we're almost all the way waxed. And then I think I saw the pics of, oh, did you see his video? He's snoring next to me right now. The Santa's still intact. I'm sure it won't be for long. He's using it as a pillow on his bed currently. Did you see how excited he got? He didn't know that I had it there initially. And then when he looked over, you could see his reaction. Cue this video. Yeah, if you guys didn't see the video of Otis with his toy, you got to go back and look at it. Because literally, did you see him walk over to me like he was saying thank you? It was so cute. I love him. He's so sweet. So if you don't know, because you're new on here, Otis is my big old lug of a dog. He's just got the best personality you'd ever want in a dog, honestly. Yes, it did. He gets very excited. I had a picture, I didn't post it, of his cookies. So I said I took video of like the candy tree and everything, and I never posted it. I was going to take video of the kids all getting their candy, except I explained earlier, my kids trampled each other getting to it, and it turned into a big old brawl. Not a serious brawl, but they like to wrestle and beat each other up, so I wasn't sticking that on Facebook. I was like, yeah, they consider this violence. So guys, I used the Bare Dark Antique Wax just by itself. So this is it waxed. And then we're going to paint that center gold, that center key gold, but a deep dark, kind of like coppery gold, I think. And then what I think I want to do is, I'm going to do this small one, like a black almost. And then I haven't decided what we're doing with this. So I want to bring something else in. So then this one's going to get bling on it. So where did my totally, there it is. So we have this totally dazzled. Let me get it out of the wrapper because it's so pretty out of the wrapper. I don't break it first. You see the difference when you put the wax on it? So I know it kind of looks like, oh God, it's just a white piece. But what I was thinking was, when we paint this, we'll stick that antique gold, totally dazzled, right there. And then I have the other one, which is this one. It's kind of got a crown to it. I need to get another set of these guys. That's what I should have put on my Christmas list, totally dazzled. So then there's this key. What if we put the one with the crown right in the middle? And then we kind of stuck this one. I don't know. So my theory is I want to paint this like that deep gold, and then we're going to bling this out. So I want to put gems just like what's in here. You like the crown one in the middle? So that's what I was thinking. If I put the crown one in the middle and we put the gems on this one like this, and then we can find a spot for this one. I don't know if we want to put it there. And then I have a little baby one. See, the thing is that one's upside down. Then I have little baby ones that we can put. So I can put a key on each one of these keys. Love the crown one in the middle. So I have smaller ones too. Let's just dump them out. Or we don't do that big bling one. Let's do the crown one as the big one. Let's do a little one as a bling. Not pearls. See, I got this one too. This one's cute. Can we see that? I like the look of that one. So I got this little bling one. So how about we do this? Do the crown one in the middle. We have this little bling one we can stick right here. So I got this cute little, I got paint everywhere, don't judge me. Cute little cute little bling key we can stick there. And then we have another one here. I don't know, we have a choice of different keys we can stick on that one as well. But, so what I want to do is bling that one out and then stick that there. But I want to just stick gems all over it, like the darker gems. I hope it's going to be fabulous. So let me get this paintbrush put away because I let one of my paintbrushes dry out the other day and I was so bummed about it. So I want to see what gold I have here first. You know what? I have the perfect gold. Hold on. What did I use the other night? Let my brain stop for 1 second. I have it here somewhere. Where'd you put it, Nicole? Where did you stick the paint? I just had it. Oh, Lordy. It's hiding behind my slick stick. So, Shelly, look what I found. I keep showing it because I'm in love with it at the thrift store today. Christmas is over, but we got to do it. I love them. I may save them for next year. I'm kind of itching to do them, though. Not going to lie. So, let's see what this paint looks like on here. I know, I love Santa. I kind of have an obsession with Santas, I'm not gonna lie. But I like old looking Santas. And he was just unique and different and cute. Guys, I feel like I'm all up in your face, I'm so sorry. I got to move around here though. Where did you get the big keys? They all came there, the Totally Dazzled pack. So that's the first set I got, and I'm literally obsessed with them. So I said I should have put them on my Christmas list. Because all those keys come in a pack together. Well, hello, Madi Firm Fresh, Modi? Sorry if I got that wrong. Welcome. So let's see what this looks like. I don't know if I like this on here. But I can dry brush over it. Sprinkle. Thank you for sprinkling. Oh, the wood or resin ones. So this is a Goodwill find. If you go on my page, I posted a picture about what we were going to do. So this actually came this way, and then I put glue molds here, and we painted them. But these were already on here. So I was actually at Goodwill and Menor, and I came across these, or I came across this board, and it was instant. I had to have it. I grabbed it, snatched it right up. Pretty sure the video's out there somewhere because I'm pretty sure I went and then just snatched it. Somebody that watches my Goodwill videos will know my reaction when I find something I really want. I get super excited. So I'm going to put a coat of this gold and see what we think about it. Thank you for those sprinkling out. I appreciate you, darling. I said I was going to quit after the wax, but I'm so excited to get this key. I try to go, so I live in Lake County. I don't know how familiar you are. I know you're familiar with Menor and so forth. That's actually where I met Kathy at. Was that Menor Goodwill. Because I go there all the time. So if you go over to Lakeshore in Eastlake, there's a Goodwill there, and I'm there every day because it's right around the corner from me, so I go there every day. And then there's one on Lakeshore, it's called Savers. Well, there's a new one that opened, and guys, it's the one I have taken you in several times, and then the last time it didn't work. So what I didn't realize is, I forget what the name of it is, and I'm so sorry, I don't want to say the wrong name on here. So what they do is their money that they get from that store, and this is why I'm going to be going there a lot more, because we all know Goodwill prices have gone up insane. I love the Goodwill. So the one in Willoughby now, that new one, Shelly, they not only does the money go to veterans, it goes to homeless women, like shelters and stuff. So when they told me that the other day, I just kind of froze, and I was like, because, you know, now all the Goodwills ask you, well, do you want to round up, you know, yada yada. I can't say no. I have Savers in Toledo, but they both closed. Yeah, we still have Savers here. I don't know about saving anymore, but so I will go there. They because they help vets and they help the homeless, you know, homeless women and so forth. And I think it's homeless battered. I don't want to get it wrong. I'll find out for sure. I'm probably going up there tomorrow. I'll find out 100%, and then I'll, you know, let you know the name of it, because I can never remember the name of it. So that might be my new favorite place, only because of that reason. And they have like 3 colors that are on sale every day. So they have a half off, a 25% off, like blue will be 25%, something will be half off, and something will be 70% off. So I kind of like that too, which I never noticed. Oh, I have it on the tip of my tongue what the name of it is. Something of America. I don't remember now. But I asked her, I said, is that really where the money goes? And she said, absolutely. I said, that's awesome. She goes, yeah, you thought that too when I started here. And they always have cute stuff in there. So I'm thinking that's going to be my new favorite. Ollie's. Oh, you're talking about the one by you? Yeah, Savers is pretty cool. So I have Savers by me. I have Goodwill by me. It's like all within a couple minutes of each other. And then I have a ton of like church ones around me. And then of course you start going into the Euclid area and you have a bunch out there. Mayfield, Menor, they're literally everywhere around me. And then of course there's all the antique shops. But I usually work when they're open, because they're closed most of the early week. So I don't get there as much. I don't know. Do we like that gold? So I'm thinking, I like that it's a contrast. It's going to need another coat, which will make it deeper, and then I can dry brush like a copper onto it, like an antique bronze. I I think she's by the Toledo area. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do an deeper copper, like antique copper, like a darker color over it. I like how the color is changing when I put the second coat on, so I'm much happier with it. I wasn't sure if I'd like it, but now that I got the second coat on, I like it. And then we'll dry brush a more rustic copper onto it. I'm one of those that doesn't stick to one color. Yo, I told you, this turntable is so big. It's like one of the biggest ones I've seen. And I still have a heck of a time with my projects because they overhang it. If that gives you any idea of how many big projects I do. I can't go small, apparently. Hi, Kellyanne. How are you, darling? Thank you for the hearts. We spent the night in Cleveland, did a dinner cruise and fireworks show. Lord, that was an experience. Well, Becky, where are you? Where are you at, darling? I don't remember. Thank you for throwing up hearts, guys. Appreciate that. How was your Christmas, Kellyanne? Oh, you're in Oklahoma. So you came and like did a trip out here? Is that what you were saying? I didn't think you were from here. Hi, Karen. How are you? My hubby works in Cambridge. Heard. Oh, so he travels out here for work? How are you, Karen? Guys, I love that you're throwing the hearts. Thank you so much. Gotcha. Well, do they like stay in a hotel out here? What do they, I mean, if they ever need, you know, if anything were to ever happen and they needed an emergency anything, I'm only like an hour from, Shelly, what am I, like an hour from Cambridge? If that? Listen, you'll find I'm not big on, like, give me a street or whatever. I went and had my pre-op test today, tomorrow. Oh. Well, I hope everything goes good for you. I'll be thinking of you. I'll definitely keep you in mind on Thursday. Oh, and Becky, your blessing bag goes out tomorrow, darling. I never did get to the post office Friday. It was too hectic. So I will be sending it out tomorrow. You're very welcome. I hope all goes well for you. Any surgery is scary. I've had a couple in the past 2 years and they were both scary. I'm sure I could Google how far Cambridge is from me, but I want to say it's not that far. So if there was ever, you know, anything weather-wise or something ever came up, they are... I'll give you my contact information. At least they have somewhere to go in an emergency. Hi, Bella. How are you? It's almost 2 hours to Cleveland. Okay. Yeah, they wouldn't be that far away from me. At least they'd have somewhere safe to go if there was ever an emergency or anything ever happened. I can't say they'd leave here the same, you know, you can say I was normal, but I'm safe. They could cuddle Otis. I have a guest room. I have a full basement. I mean, it's not big, but it's got a full sectional. Otis loves to snuggle. He does snore, though. You need to cuddle. You come cuddle him, Shelly. I'll send him to you for a day or two. Gotcha. Yeah, Shelly, you can cuddle Otis anytime. He'll never say no. You're very welcome. Well, I mean, I'm all about, you know, you want to help people, not, I mean, if you're right there, you're right there. And if something were to ever happen, you got somebody else in the area. I mean, even if it is a little bit of a drive, at least you know where they are and they're safe, you know what I mean? I would want someone to do that for my family, so absolutely. I feel like you would be knocking on my door as I was, you know, getting ready to fall asleep, and you'd have a bed and a blankie and a cookie for him. Which is actually hilarious. Send Otis to you. All right, now you guys want to fight for him? I am so ready for summer. Bella, I don't know how fast you drive, but I think Shelly'd get here before you. I promise you, I couldn't give Otis away to anybody. Maybe for a couple nights, not gonna lie. After everything that dog's gone through in life, he's just the sweetest thing. Promise you that. He deserves all the love. Even though he's driving me, you know, bat something crazy. Bella, how was your Christmas, hon? Good, I hope. So listen, if I get enough of you, so if I still have Patty on here, I'm sure she'll take Otis for a couple days. Shelly will take him. I mean, he can just travel around. He can have the life I wish I had. Becky will take him. Wanda will take him. Hi, Beverly. How are you, darling? I'm sure several of you would take him. He's got to come back for at least a couple days because I'll miss him. But then he can go again. And he can just travel. Tomorrow, aww. Well, happy birthday. He probably won't leave yet. Nope, see, nope, can't do that. Hi, Beverly. Thank you, darling. Yes, my beau and him would be great together. Well, here's the thing. He's got a good home, so he can come visit and play, but he's got to come back to his home. Not gonna lie, he would miss his mama. I could never. He's been moved around a lot in his life. A lot. Through no fault of his own. Hi, Candace. How are you? You'll open up a daycare just for Otis. Lord. I'm telling you, don't be surprised when I open up like a private Otis group. We can have group for just Otis. You'll take what you can get. We'll put Otis in a chair. And you guys can just sit here and, I mean, I could put his food up on the table. I can give him toys. You guys can just watch Otis. Subscription to Otis. How about that? I think that might be a good plan. My daughter would work out all the details. She tells me all the time, Mom, they watch for Otis, not you. Thanks, Ash. Thanks a lot. Have you ever been to Christmas in the Woods? It's in Columbiana. Pet therapy is the best, in person or virtual. So are you telling me open up an Otis channel? Should I get him his own Facebook page? Thank you, Bella. I'm going to pick it up and show it to you guys here in a minute. Because we're going to take like an antique gold and put it on here. And then I think I'm going to, I don't know, unless you guys want me, unless you guys want to hang on and have me keep going, I will. Since the big one will be done. But I'm going to take another bronze and go over it. Otis Anonymous for those days. Lord. Listen, if you ever had, no, I'm sure you guys have, but, you know, 120-pound beast of a dog with the zoomies in a little tiny ranch house, and the couch goes flying, you're holding onto the walls for dear life, and he's just having a ball, zooming in and out of everything, slides into the wall, hits it head first, down the end of the hallway. He just keeps going. Listen, that's when you guys can all show up and pick him up. Hi, Robin Taylor. How are you? If you're new, welcome in. Let me know where you're from. I will show this to you guys in just a moment. I don't know if you guys can see. If you can't see, holler at me. I picked this up at a Goodwill and fell in love with it the minute I saw it. So we're just redoing it. Done some molds on here, some wax, some paints. This has been a long life. I don't know how long I've been on here. I don't know what time it is. I've been on here for 2.5 hours, guys. I never do that. Ever. Do I still have people on here? I do. He's a Great Dane lab pit mix. Yes, girl, my beau is that big, knocks everything over in my house. Sounds like fun to you. So, even when he's just standing there and he's saying hello to people, he comes in the kitchen and that tail goes and things just go flying off of shelves, off of, it doesn't matter. It just goes flying. He just rearranges the house. Shelly, did you see in the video where he was trying to tear apart his toy and my husband said you're supposed to lay on it and he just stuck his head down on it? I thought that was so cute that I couldn't even stand it. But that's just how good he is. Like, so when he gets those crazy zoomies and things start flying, I literally look at him and I say place, because place means his bed. You know, it just, if I want to get him to move, or people are moving around, or, you know, we're cooking, whatever, and I need him out, you know, he learned the word place so that he can go to where he's supposed to. You watched it 3 times. Well, now I know why it had 100 plays, because Shelley Stacklin was on there. All right. A couple little grooves in here. Aw. They're just great dogs. They really are. You know, I just think there's something to say. Hi, Jamie. How are you? There's something to say about a rescue. After being in rescue for so many years, you know, I've taken some of the most hideous cases on, and there's something to say about them. They, you know, especially I did a lot of mill dogs, and a lot of heartworm positive, a lot of very abused, like the biters that nobody would take. I know it sounds crazy, and some of them, yes, they have issues and so forth, but when they love, they love. And it doesn't matter what the breed is. You know, they know they're safe. And I always said my favorite part when I was doing rescue was when they would come home and they were comfortable enough that they would put their head down and sleep. And then they would sleep for, I swear, a full 24 hours. And you know it was just the best sleep that they've ever had. And that's what I love. So yes, this was found at a thrift store. See, now that paint totally changed with that other coat, didn't it? So it came this way. Now we did put some glue molds on the sides, and we painted over them. We glued those down, painted over them, and then we did the same thing over here. These keys were on there. This was here as well. And I think we're going to dry brush the front of this like a darker antique bronze. See, Shelley, that paint totally changed. Thank you, Beverly. And we have those totally dazzled keys we're going to fix onto this as well. So I'm going to just put, this paint totally just dried. So I'm going to put, just fix a couple spots. I'm going to grab my wax brush and get some of this paint off that hit the board. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, I always say they adopted you, that, you know, they adopt you because, you know, being responsible for the placement of them when they come in, you know, and that's what people don't understand is not every dog is suited for just any person that walks in the door. They're just not. And, you know, some dogs don't like kids. Some dogs don't do well in crazy busy homes. Some dogs don't do well without a fenced-in yard. You know, it just went on each individual dog and family. So that's how we did it. And then we were just foster-based. And that's what I like the best. So we'd pull either from a shelter or wherever we got them, surrenders, so forth. Unfortunately, many abuse cases and raids and so forth, but, you know, they all needed their own individual, they all had their own individual personality, but when they loved, they loved. And yeah, some of them needed a certain type of home, but you always knew it because certain dogs just didn't trust everybody. And it was amazing to watch them pick their home is what I loved. That was my favorite part. That, and we had somebody that had contacted us, and I was kind of leery on it at first. She was looking for specific type puppies, and I wasn't a puppy fan. Don't get me wrong. I would save them. I personally didn't have them here. I had a foster. I had one foster that would do nothing but. and we got a emergency case in, and they were like Dane Pity lab mixes, and this woman was looking for them to match to vets, like with PTSD, and I said, well, you know, I have these ones if you want to check, and she had like a whole, what do you call it, way of testing them to see if they would work out. So, and we had one that did. We had two possibilities, but we had one that did, and went to a vet, sweetest guy in the world, had PTSD. It was very hard for me to let that go because we had to sign a couple different contracts and so forth. But that dog picked that gentleman, even as a puppy. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So I loved it. And he was the perfect therapy dog. So they're just amazing. And even if they're not perfect, they're perfect to me. The brush and leaf silver, just like the gold. I have it. I have not tried it. So I haven't used it yet. Yep. Unfortunately, they all do have a story. And it's not always pretty, but... All right. So I want to do antique... Do we want to do antique copper? I want kind of a dry brush look, right? So I need a chip brush that I haven't used in wax. And I need a bowl. Are you guys holding on? You want me to keep going? So I'm going to go in with this antique copper that I mixed in this paint. And what I want to do, so you're going to stick it in your paint, and then you're going to dab it off. And I'm using a chip brush. And you want to get most of it off. Okay. And I want you guys to feel obligated to stay on. Let's try that a little bit. I think it's dry, it's just a little soft. So I have tomorrow off. I'm gonna do some cleaning up. I'm gonna have to do some cooking. All right, let's come up here. I don't want to change this color too much. I think so. I can't tell. I can't tell what it is because it's like a hollow. I think it is. I don't know. Is plaster the word I'm looking for? What's plaster? Resin? It's not resin. It's not plastic. It's not wood. I'll give you that much. And it's not heavy. Hello, how are you? If you're new popping in here, let me know where you're from. Feel free to say hello. You know what? I may go even 3 different colors on here, I'm not gonna lie. Can we see like, it's just got like a little hint of copper. Do we like that? I can darken that up too with almost like a black. But I feel like if we're going to bling this out and then we're going to put that key on there. Or we don't bling it and the only bling that's on here is the keys. I can't think of the name either. I'm not even going to lie. I'm sitting here stuttering over what the name of it is. I do too. That's why I didn't want like that perfect gold. I want it kind of beat up. Actually, the more I'm doing this, the more I like it. And if you ever watch me, you know I change my mind a million times, so... And sometimes I think messy art is good. And it's not messy, it just... what the word I'm looking for is. Do we like that? I keep pointing it at you as if, you know. And then we put the crown on, or the crown key on it. I still have my hot glue gun here. Thank you for the hearts. I'm guessing yes. Where'd I put the key, guys? So, and then we put the key here, right here. Yes, I may. So what I might do, as crazy as this sounds, is go back in here with black Rub and Buff. Just a tiny, tiny bit, just to age it up a little bit. We'll see. I kind of tend to play, so I'll pull the B7000 out. There went my garbage bag. I didn't even think to look if my husband took the garbage out because, oh boy, is there a lot of garbage. It's probably like, heck no. I ain't going out there and doing it. No, sir. Do you ever get so cold that you can't warm up even when you take a hot shower? That's how I feel like I've been for days. I had to jump in the shower before I came on here because I was so cold. I was like, I'm going to be shivering on my live. My husband's sitting in there with a fan on him. He's like, you have the heat turned to 71. Uh-huh. Because I'm freezing. All right, where'd my hot glue go? I can't stand being cold. See, my husband sleeps with the fans. At one point, he'll, you know, sleep with the air conditioner and the fan and the I'm sorry. He sleeps with the windows open and the fan on. And I'm freezing half to death in here. So I just won't sleep in there. I shut the door, lock him in, and go to the next room. No, thank you. I can't do it. All right, I don't want to tilt it up. But do we like that? You know what? Hold on. I got this. I'm not 100% feeling that. So I'll go with this. Hold on one second. Sorry. I just asked if you liked it, and if you loved it, sorry, I can't get a chip brush. Okay, we're gonna go in with not black, but that chocolate. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm gonna go in with the metallic chocolate and blend this in a little bit more. Now that I stuck the key on there, right? I feel like it was giving it off a rose effect, rose colored effect, and I wasn't digging it. Much better. Not that much. Take some of that rosiness out of there. Yes, I like this much better. Sometimes when it just hits you, it hits you, right? Okay. I took some of the rosiness. See, so now it's sort of, kind of, it's got its own color, but it sort of blends in with the sides a little bit. So it looks like it belongs. I just need to figure out what color we're painting these other two. So I said I didn't like that red look, but I have this garnet. Y'all, I'm just throwing paint all over my thing over here. You too, honey. I think I'm gonna be calling it quits here in a minute. I was getting a little tired. Nope, we're definitely not going garnet. All right. That's not gonna work. I think we're gonna go straight chocolate, and we're gonna put black over the top of it. So where did I put that chocolate? So let's see what's, and then I think this one we're going to do black and put the chocolate over the top. Does that make sense? So we're gonna do chocolate. Chocolate brown. And then we're gonna put black over it. And then we're gonna do this one black and put chocolate brown over it. So I'm gonna keep playing with this. Do I still have you in here? Yes, perfect. Okay, let's see what this looks like. I feel like now I'm having too many of the same color. Do I have anybody still with me? Guys, I've never been on a live this long. Not gonna lie. You know, Otis is over here like, Mom, Mom. Do you hear him sigh? Forgotten Peace, hello, welcome. How are you? Let me know where you're from, darling. I knew it would come to me. I just figured it would be later. Polynesian? That's a new one for me. I have no idea. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely different because it's not heavy at all. I mean, it's got a little bit of weight to it. I'm not gonna, you know, but it's not like, as big as it is, you would think it would be a lot heavier, but it's not. For its size, it is light. Gotcha. That makes sense to me. Yeah, because at first I thought it was like plastic or something. And I'm like, oh, it's not that. I didn't think it would take this long to paint this. I mean, I knew it would take a little while, but not like this. Bubby, get your head out the bag. Bub. He's sleeping with his head in a bag. You go night-night? He's decided to go off to bed. Are we still... It's basically... No. Polyresin. It is... Yep, auto-correct is no fun. Not gonna lie. It's a beautiful piece at any rate. It is. I love it. I saw it and I was like, I want to work with that. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with it. All right, I'm going to finish this key and then I think I'm going to call it quits. I'm getting tired. And you know what? I am off tomorrow, so I may just come on early and finish this piece. Like, early during the day. I've never come on during the day. And then, you know, Tuesday night's always my usual live. That's how I started, was Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So Tuesday night, it's usually 6, unless I state 6:30, just depending on how the day goes. But I may just do a surprise pop in tomorrow, early on, and finish this piece. That way I won't, you know, continue. I'll just pop on tomorrow early and do it. Because I'm even too tired to sit here and finish it once I pop off of here, so. And if you guys catch me, you catch me, and if you don't, you don't. It's okay. But it'll be on for you to catch the replay. And then I'll just come on tomorrow night with something fun and different. Not quite sure what I'm doing. Honestly, I never know what I'm doing, so right before I do it, I stand here and stare and hope for something to speak to me. Unless I completely plan something out. Alright, so this is it so far. I keep thinking this is the way it's supposed to be. I want to put black on this key. I will be there if all goes good. Okay. I'll post, like, I always do, like, half hour before I go on. I may go up to Men Are Goodwill tomorrow. So I'll give you guys a heads up if you want to go in with me. So this is a little too similar to that one. So we're going to change this color up, and I'm going to put, I think I'm going to dry brush or Rub and Buff black on there. I want these keys to stand out from each other. I want this to be your focal key. I want this to darken up and kind of blend into the background. And then I want this one, I don't know, to be a totally different color. But I want my focal to be that middle key. So, and maybe tomorrow we'll put some gems up in there just to give it a little bit of a different look. Maybe we will do some bling. But I love, love, love the way the molds came out. I think they're beautiful. You guys love. So we'll get this baby blinged out. I want it to pop. So we'll make it pop. One way or another, we'll make it pop, right? So I'm gonna get, I guess I should probably get the rest of this paint on here if I'm gonna leave it, right? Because I'm not gonna wanna pull that out and redo it tomorrow. So you all have a beautiful evening. I promise I'll guys, I need help with my Telegram. I don't know, I don't think I 100% understand how to use it, so I will be trying to get help with that so that you guys can sign up for that if you have it downloaded. And that way, every time I go live, I just shoot out a message on Telegram, and that's all I use it for. I'll just be like, hey, live at whatever time. That way you guys always know when I'm going live. Right now, I kind of message you guys. So, but I'll let you know tomorrow when I pop it on to finish this. And then tomorrow night will be our usual live at 6 o'clock. All right? You guys have a beautiful evening. Thank you for hanging out with me as long as you have. You could have been anywhere else doing anything more important. So I appreciate the love. You guys have a great evening. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.